Hey guys, it's Ruby here, and today I'm going to show you how not to and how to color and shade most things. So first I'm going to actually start off with some swatching of colors, which are good for shading. And so far I'm showing you how to use the HSV wheel, which is basically how to get more precise colors, and it's up there with the color wheel, like near the layers and the selection thing, and you can just pick it out really easily. You get really nice rich reds and more precise colors so that you don't have to just guess with the color wheel. And here I'm showing the colors that can be used for shading the edges. And I actually have gray and black at the side there, but I'm going to talk about that in a minute. What I would suggest to use for shading is actual colors instead of desaturated grays and blacks. And here I'm actually circling pinks and purples and the red and the blue, which is actually the most colors that are good for shading. And I'm crossing out the gray and the black, and I'm going to explain why in a minute. But so far I'm going to show you why pink and purple are probably best for this image. As you can tell, there is both cool and warm colors, such as in the skin and the eyes, but then there's cool colors in the hair and the tail. And purple and pink are in between, both cool and warm. So pink is probably better since it's most in between cool and warm, but purple actually gives a nice kind of sea color, I guess. So like if maybe if your character's underwater, that would work best. And usually I do this because of the cool and the warm colors. And of course it makes it look much more, I guess, defined, and it makes it look more colorful than it actually is. And the reason why I wouldn't use blue or red here is because the red is too warm. It's just a little bit too warm for this image, and it just doesn't look right, especially in the tail and the skin. The skin looks a bit more orange than it really is, and that's not what we're doing. And the blue here, which I'm going to actually change in a minute, is too cool, and it actually makes the skin look a little bit sort of greenish, which is definitely not what we want here. As you can tell, it doesn't look as colorful as the pink and purple, which go both great with the colors that are in this character. Here I'm just showing you the different colors that I use for all the images, and I'm actually going to now shade with black and gray. And as you can see, when I'm turning it down, it's just the same color but darker. And it actually doesn't look as great as the other colors. It makes it look duller and less colorful. I would suggest using color to shade instead of black or gray, because it makes the color, it makes the characters have more atmosphere and things like that. And if you're going for a creepier image, I would suggest using gray or black. Maybe even not, maybe like a very desaturated red or something like that, because the black shading just looks unnatural and it just kind of makes the picture dull. The shading is sort of just there and it doesn't really give much character to the image. And that's why I usually will shade with a different color. So I wouldn't use the green or the yellow or the orange for this one because it just kind of looks a little bit off. It doesn't really match many of the colors here, and the only kind of orangey color is in the eyes and the skin. And here I'm actually going to show some better things for coloring. So as I'm drawing this weird pony thing, I'm actually going to show that I do not use flat blacks or flat whites on any of my characters. And I know I don't put the same exact color in the same exact areas because it just looks strange. Like I don't make both the hair and the skin black or both the hair and the skin white with maybe one different color added. And here I'm making this really shitty piece of hair just a flat black, and then I'm making the skin just a flat white. And as you can see, it sort of looks just kind of generic and kind of doesn't really have much, has way too much contrast. So instead, I'm going to change it to something like an almost white blue, or something like a nice light gray. And maybe I turn the hair a nice very dark blue, or just a very, very dark gray. And as you can see here, it actually looks a bit nicer. But the second one, I'm going to turn the contrast all the way up and to make it black and white again. And as you can see, the one on the left is actually much nicer on the eyes, and it just has a nicer color to it, which is sort of what you should probably go for when you're making characters. Instead of just giving flat blacks and flat whites, it gives the characters a bit more value and it just looks a bit nicer. Now here I'm going to be showing a better way of coloring instead of using just bright neon colors, because I've seen that people do that all the time and I don't understand why they do it. Because it's super hard to look at for a long period of time, especially if there's many different neon colors, and it just kind of burns the retinas. And the nice pastel colors like light pinks or blues or desaturated colors, they look much nicer and they have a nicer effect on the eyes, so you don't have to strain me look at stuff. Right here I'm going to be showing what the cell shading actually looks like with just the different colors with the black and the gray and stuff. And so I'm doing some really groupy shading here, groupy shading. And I'm showing you guys actually what the colors look like. You can literally see as I select the colors with the gray and the black in them, that it's just a darker version of that color. And here you can see with the colors, it's literally just a darker version of the skin, and it just sort of looks a little bit unnatural. And now with this, with the color, it actually gives it much more color difference, and it just has a bit more character to it, and it really kind of it makes the image pop. It actually just makes the image pop a little bit better than just the black and the gray shading. And honestly, I have no idea what I'm doing here, but I think it's just like showing that. Oh yeah, I remember this is just me showing everybody that that shading with extremely like high opacity is never a good idea. It's too intense and it just kind of distracts from the character. So when you're shading, it would be wise to actually keep the tones down, especially when you're shading with the highlights. Thank you guys so much for watching.